Very good lately, wearing number 22 at the bottom of your screen, Jaden Seymour. They're in the jump circle. It is James Glisson versus Ty Brewer, and the Bucks win the tap. So joining Seymour, double-digit scorers David Sloan, Ty Brewer, Ladarius Brewer, and Jordan King in the starting five tonight. Deflected pass, Ladarius Brewer is able to possess it. ETSU in their all-whites here at home. Mercer in their all-oranges with 5 in the shot clock. The Bucks looking for points on their opening possession. Ladarius Brewer, aggressive take inside, but a big block. Glisson turns him away.
Mercer half-court man-to-man. Bucks go high-low on the onset. Nice deflection and a block shot by the Bears. Good start defensively.
Jordan Jones has the ball here. Joining him in Mercer starting lineup, Jalen Johnson, Felipe Haase, Glisson, who we've already mentioned, and Sean Walker Jr., the point guard. Walker drives, leaves it for Glisson, who goes glass and misses a 5-footer. Oh, that's a shot that they have to make.
And that's a shot Glisson has made throughout the season. Missed opportunity for Mercer on the first possession.
Ty Brewer going to take a 3 from the right wing off the front rim. That's generally not his shot, and he misses his opening attempt from outside.
He has the green light. I think Desmond Oliver would prefer that came later in the possession, forcing the Mercer defense to shift a little bit. Both teams half-court man-to-man.
Haase misses his first lock from distance. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the country at 49%. 0 for 1 early. Walker Jr. top of the key. Another miss. Haase taps it out, but it's right to Ty Brewer. 2-on-1 with David Sloan. Brewer elevates, no call, and now there is one, and it's a charge.
Yeah, good call. Ty comes to a jump stop, goes straight up there. Bucks will be able to convert in numbers.
Michael Terry making the call. There you see well outside the circle is Walker. Michael Terry joined in the referee crew by crew chief Jason Baker along with Hunter Allen.
Ty needs to give that up just a little bit quicker as well.
Johnson, who was almost an ETSU Buccaneer last offseason. He's played at Tennessee, Wake Forest, almost ETSU, and now Mercer playing his best basketball. He did the ball handling to get it into the front court. Here's Glisson, top of the key. Hand off to Walker, who plays the point without Alvarez. Head coach Greg Gary of Mercer told me it's either Walker or Haase at this point. Lefty Johnson, hard off the heel, and the rebound for Seymour. Sloan, step back 3. And both teams, more than 2 minutes in, scoreless.
That's a shot Sloan can hit. Right to left, step back. Got Haase back on his heels, but couldn't knock down the open look.
Deep post up and a big size advantage. Glisson won't miss this time.
It's a great read. Glisson able to post with 2 feet in the paint. Just back the smaller Sloan down. That's not all on Sloan. Needs a little help. Out on the perimeter, you have to guard passers with high hands as well. Too easy a pitch and catch.
Glisson, double figures, 7 of his last 10, having his best collegiate season. And I think there's a clock issue. That's what Michael Terry spotted at least. 17:21 on the game clock, 19 on the shot clock. As Desmond Oliver, head coach for ETSU, shouts out some instructions to David Sloan and the rest of the Buccaneers, just in front of where we're broadcasting from courtside. Shot clock's going to be down to 14, we hear from Jason Baker. No subs for the Buccaneers yet. Same for Mercer with their starting 5. Not sure we would have expected this kind of a stalemate start, Bruce. These two teams can really fill it up.
Yeah, both teams, some good looks early and go down, especially at first possession. Mercer, Glisson at point blank range. Empty possession for the Bears. ETSU a bit tight. Out of the blocks. Number
to watch for ETSU since the Naples Invitational. When they score 80 or more, 7-0. When they don't, 0-5. David Sloan penetrates the finger roll, the miss, and Glisson fumbled the rebound out of bounds. And so Sloan, I'm sure he'll think, should have converted on the layup, but then Glisson gave the ball right back to the box.
You see how hard Sloan cuts away from the basketball and curled tightly off that screen. Got the catch, got downhill, but unable to finish at the rim. Bucks with a fresh 20. And out under.
Seymour on the inbounds pass. Ladarius Brewer now right elbow. Ball caroms into the corner, fortunately for ETSU, and Ty Brewer makes good on the deflection.
Had to like the possession initially defensively for Mercer. Johnson able to fight through on that dribble handoff. Ty Brewer makes him pay from the corner.
Just 28% from three, Ty Brewer, this season, but he's 1 of 2 in the early going, and ETSU, after 3 minutes of game action, are on the board and ahead 3-2. Oh, Glisson just bullying Jaden Seymour down low. Glisson has all 4 Bear points.
And that basket was made on the catch. That's 3 possessions. Glisson able to post with 2 feet in the paint.
Ball careens to the Bears. Turnover ETSU. Walker versus Brewer. Glisson gets the pass. Trailer is Johnson. Good job by ETSU in transition, but Johnson's going to take it anyway and swishes it. 45% from distance. Top 20 in the country, Jalen Johnson. He's a sharpshooter.
ETSU back in numbers. Good job, Ty Brewer getting back. Walling up. Johnson able to convert. 2-0 in this building.
Not many can say that they've had success in this building, let alone 2 in a row, as the Bucks the last 6.5 years, 83-18. Ladarius Brewer going to work. Another block on Brewer. This one's by Jalen Johnson, and Mercer has it going the other way. They did review that long shot by Jalen Johnson in the break. It was a 3, and it's 7-3 as a miss at the rim. Goes high off the glass and into the hands of Ty Brewer.
Lamar Robertson able to get downhill, unable to finish.
Missing a 3 in the corner, Jordan King, and Robertson will do the ball handling up the court. He's checked in for the first time. He's with Hasse, Johnson, Glisson, and Walker.
Robertson, part of that point guard by committee since Alvarez has gone out and missed the game at the Citadel. He's more comfortable off the ball, adjusting to playing with the ball in his hands.
He's been very, very good lately for this Bear team, but a turnover there as that one went through the hands of Jalen Johnson. And the Bucks will have it back.
Robertson's assists are going up, his turnovers are going down. Again, it's adjusting on the fly to life at the point guard position. You see the timing just not quite there. Pass just a little bit behind Johnson. Good job. Containment by the Buck defense in the half-court set.
Ohad Yasser is in for the first time, replacing David Sloan. So it's King, the Brewers, Seymour, and Yasser.
Both teams very similar defensively, primarily half-court man.
Oh, he's halfway down. Ladarius Brewer couldn't get it to drop. Rebound for Robertson. Hasse hasn't scored yet. Their leading scorer. Walker in the middle of the paint against a much stronger Ohad Yasser, who's up to 205 pounds. Glisson, right wing, no. And Yasser high for the rebound, one of his best qualities.
Mercer likes the matchup with Glisson pounding it inside to him on the block. Using the sevens for the 3rd.
And that's going to be another turnover on ETSU as Jordan King committed the foul, diving in to try to get the ball back for ETSU. Sloppy the first 6 minutes, their 4th giveaway.
Sluggish on the offensive end. Good job, Mercer containment. Just staying between the man and the basket. Forcing ETSU to shoot over their length. Size advantage in almost every position for Mercer, especially in the backcourt.
Jackson Greco and Shannon Grant are in for those in orange. Visitors to Johnson City tonight for ETSU. Charlie Weber replacing Jaden Seymour. Has 10 combined points, nearly 6 minutes in. Mercer has shown the ability in the last couple of games to defend and do it successfully. Just 49 points allowed against UNCG, 64 against the high-scoring Citadel team. Grant at 280 pounds forces it up through Charlie Weber, who doesn't weigh quite that.
Well, there's that high-low action. You have Hasse with his size and vision at the high post, and Grant imposing his will at 280 pounds, just backing Charlie Weber down. Nice follow.
First layup tiptoed the baseline, and Brewer has his first pair of points today.
First layup off the banking board, using the head, neck, and shoulders to screen for himself.
Hasse's got room and makes the Bucks pay. He doesn't miss those often. Again, 49%, top 10 in the country from distance.
Brewer out there in good shape, contesting the shot. You just have to arrive with him in his space on the catch.
Team leader in points, rebounds, assists, steals. 3rd on the team in blocks is Hasse. It's quite the resume he's putting together this year. Weber being pushed off the block by Grant. Ladarius Brewer lost the ball again, a 3rd time in the first 7 minutes. And Mercer will have possession.
And they're shading defensively. They show Brewer baseline, takes the bait. Here comes the help side. Have to kick that quicker.
Greco. Hasse. Now down low, Grant. They love this matchup against Brewer. Great spin by Grant. Nice footwork, but Weber did enough to disrupt the shot.
Off the cross screen, Grant able to catch it on the low block, but can't finish.
Brewer in rhythm, got it.
Brewer's a streak shooter. He's seen one go down now. He's going to have defenders flying at him. We'll see if he shows a little rhythm, or excuse me, a little leather and tries to get to the rim.
Hasse guarded closely by Ty Brewer. More athletic, quicker, but not as big as Hasse. Dump it down to Grant again. Looped pass outside for Walker. He's able to save it inbounds. Drives against Yasser. 5-footer is down.
Hasse, such a good shooter, takes the help side away. When he pops on that ball screen, Walker able to bounce himself into rhythm. Knocks one down from the logo. Mercer +6.
Transfer from Tallahassee Community College. Sean Walker Jr. has stepped in right away and given Greg Gary some good minutes. Charlie Weber, that's the advantage he has over Grant, and you see why.
It's a stretch 5. That's a tough matchup for Grant in space. Charlie able to knock one down. Now he's going to have Grant flying at him. Opportunity to take him off the bounce now.
King read the pass, took it away. King versus Robertson. King with the finger roll. And ETSU is within one.
A rare mistake by Hasse. Slow, long, soft, telegraph pass. Jordan King read his mail, took it the distance for the finish.
Bucks have made their last 4 field goal attempts. Nearly erased their early deficit. Hasse, not close that time. Yasser has the rebound. King will look to build on this run.
And that's what Hasse loves to do. Just pop off the flat screen. Nice read, got the open look, couldn't get it down. But Mercer, good start.
In the first half, ETSU has the ball, having made 4 of their last 4 shots. They're starting to shoot it well, get their offensive bearings about them, and they've got a chance to take the lead. Jordan King on the pull-up. Tough fadeaway. Offensive rebound by Cordell Charles. Ball was batted up in the air, and it will remain with ETSU. Charles hasn't played in the last 5 games. He's back in the court.
And Bucks go horn set out of the timeout. Try to slip Charlie Weber down. Nice offensive rebound by Cordell Charles. Have to go up strong. You're in league play now, young man.
9 seconds on the shot clock. ETSU inbounding on the baseline with David Sloan. Charles, Weber, Yasser, and King are out there. Not one of ETSU's better scoring lineups. You'd think that a lot of threes would be put in the air as there's some precipitation on the court. A lot of threes be put in the air in this current 5 by King and Sloan.
We're going to have to get one up quick here. Buck's going to go 1-4 on the out under. Look for Jordan King curling off a screen by Yasser here.
There you see head coach Greg Gary, native of Anderson, Indiana.
Basketball family. I played against his brother Jeff, who's a fine player at Vanderbilt.
3rd season for Coach Gary. That's a good thing for this Mercer team. A little baby hook for Charlie Weber, misses off the front of the rim, and the rebound for Jordan Jones.
Not a bad look with just 9 on the shot clock.
Greco remains out there, has the ball on the left side. Puts it down low. Again, it's Grant versus Weber. Grant faces up this time. In the middle of the paint, the double comes, tries to step through, does Grant, and they're going to call a foul on the floor. Cordell Charles wanted a jump ball, but instead, referee Michael Terry calls it on Charles, his first.
ETSU doubles from the weak side. Good job, Weber, pushing Grant out on the floor. He has to wall up and hold his ground. Grant backs him down. Cordell Charles comes over and just gets a little bit of wrist.
Looks like Charles maybe had one hand on top of the ball, but that other hand caught some wrist. Danger of going in with 2 hands and play like that, but Grant is a strong young man at 280 pounds. Here he's bodying up with Darius Brewer. Nice hook over the left shoulder.
The help was coming, but it came baseline side. You have to remember, Grant's a left shoulder, right-hand guy. Weber had him cut off from the baseline. Help needs to come from the high side.
Motion offense out here midcourt. Sloan drives inside. Oh, goodness. What a beautiful finish. Came from the hip and went over the left side of his body with that finish.
Help was there. more difficult than it needed to be. I thought Sloan went a little bit quick, didn't give Charlie a chance to set up that flat screen, able to get downhill and finish off the banking board.
Greco straight on. This is to the left side of the rim. Cordell Charles, uncontested rebound.
Yeah, TSU's going to live with Greco shooting fadeaway threes.
Mid-range jump shot, David Sloan, dead out.
He's fielding now. Backs Jordan Jones, back on his heels, right to left, step back, and money.
ETSU takes the lead. Their first lead of the day at 17-16 as we approach the under 8 timeout, and that ball glances off the hand of Shannon Grant out of bounds. Turnover on Mercer is their third.
Good job defensively on two levels. Number one, Weber pushing Grant out on the floor just a couple of feet. Mohab Yasser defending Greco with high hands, distorting his vision, altering that pass just enough.
Here's head coach Desmond Oliver in his first season, Buffalo native. Watched his Buffalo Bills dismantle the New England Patriots last week under the divisional round of the NFL postseason. He's a huge Bills fan. He would not stop talking about it this week.
To the dismay of Jay Sandos sitting to my right.
Sloan at the free throw line. Cordell Charles lost it, but it was deflected away by Mercer. There's only 2 on the shot clock, 8:16 to go in this first half. ETSU the 1-point lead.
Bucks catch a break there. Charles dribbling into traffic, gets it knocked away. 2 on the shot clock, have to get something up early here.
Imagine they'll be aiming for Ladarius Brewer. Comes to the ball, fades away from 25, misses short as the shot clock horn sounds. High for the board, Robertson.
Brewer's your player in that situation. He's a guy who not only takes but makes tough shots. Good job just getting that one to the rim, giving the Bucks a chance for the offensive rebound.
Jalen Johnson trapped by Cordell Charles. Hasse comes to the ball, cross-court pass, Walker. Walker fell over. The ball was on his back, and ETSU took it right away from him. David Sloan, middle of the paint, misses badly. Mohab Yasser, the follow-up, he misses short, and Walker has it. Ahead of the pack is Jalen Johnson. Johnson. Coach Gary is meeting here tonight for the first time. Jalen Johnson's at the line and makes good on his first free throw. Johnson, we've mentioned, having a really great final year of college basketball. Dropped 30 against BMI just last week, as a matter of fact, in a 97-91 win. He rattles home the second free throw.
It's a family affair for Gary's nephew, Jeff. Played for him at Mercer. Brother Jeff, as I mentioned, played at Vanderbilt on some fine teams with C.M. Newton. Teammates alongside Jeff Turner and Will Perdue.
Ty Brewer hits the side of the backboard with that 3, and the rebound again for Kamara Robertson, who leads all rebounders now with 4.
Ty Brewer has been playing so well since conference play has started, attacking the basket, scoring from mid-range. Tonight, settling for threes.
Averaging 14.7 points per game over his last 3. So far here tonight, though, just the 3 points. As Glisson is all alone at the rim and drops in the deuce.
Screen and roll. No help side there.
War of attrition here at Freedom Hall. Bucks 0 of their last 4 from the field. Mercer breaking a 2-minute and 37-second field goal as Drought is wrapping one around his David Sloan. Nice drive to go across the paint.
He's got the head and shoulders around, baited the defender, trying to draw Hasse in. Good job, Hasse keeping his space and contesting the shot. Sloan using his body to shield the defender.
Hasse sets the screen, and he's open. Cans another.
Just so good in that pick and pop action with a quick release. If you're not there on the catch, you're too late. Ty Brewer, one of the top defenders in the league. Get out there soon.
Dave Sloan guarded by the bigger Johnson. Stop and start. Great take, and he's got the 2.
Such a effective play. Hesitates. Seasoned eyes. Johnson blinks. Boom. Straight line drive and a nice finish.
Bucks back within 2. 50% from the floor. Mercer in this first half. ETSU just 39% as Glisson goes right over the top with the offhand.
Running a baseline cutter is false motion. It was just an ISO for Glisson on the low block, clear out the help side. Nice finish with the offhand by Glisson. Having a big night. Clearly a point of emphasis as Mercer tries to establish Glisson on the low block.
Seymour the corner three. That's too heavy. And the rebound on the floor is for the Bears and Jalen Johnson. Yeah, you can see, Bruce, they really want to attack ETSU's more slight defenders inside. Got a big weight advantage, strength advantage as Johnson stretches the floor with another triple.
Turns the corner, gets a baseline. Bucks come over from the help side. Just one rotation short. Good ball movement by Mercer.
Now you're starting to see what they do best. 4 of 10 from outside. As a deflected pass will go out of bounds. Top 50 in the country in all three-point categories. Makes, takes, and percentage.
Defend it pretty well on the perimeter as well. That size out there. You see Johnson knocking it down one from the top of the key.
All 4 threes for Mercer from Johnson and Hasse. There may not be a more dynamic duo from distance in all the land than those two. Darius Brewer, great contest down low by Jalen Johnson. Brewer said he wanted to make things tough on Johnson coming into today because he felt like Johnson, quote unquote, bailed on ETSU when he went to Wake Forest last offseason after it appeared that he would end up in Johnson City.
I love watching this matchup. It's two high-level offensive players. Sometimes Johnson able to get the best out of them.
Freedom Hall fans wanted to travel, called in 10 on the shot clock. Next dead ball will have a media timeout. Glisson loads up, side spinning out of his hand, and clangs away, and David Sloan clears the glass.
Glisson really active offensively, curls off the off-ball screen by Hasse, but can't knock down the tray.
Darius Brewer rims one around and out. David Sloan, open floor steal. He goes up, off the glass and in.
Just playing more downhill, playing faster, making quicker decisions every game. Remember last year, Mike, the ball would stick in his hands. All he wanted to do is operate off the ball screens. Now the ball hits his hand and boom, shot pass drive. Quick decisions, better reads, generally the right decision. First free throw for ETSU. Now does Desmond Oliver extend a little pressure.
77.5% on the season, David Sloan at the charity stripe. But misses. And a rebound for Walker Jr. ETSU has it to 5. Walker Jr. joined by Robertson, Glisson, in the corner Jones, and Hasse. Hasse, who's got a couple of threes already today.
Traditional motion offense, little passing game style by Mercer.
Robertson lost it. Sloan made him lose it again. Right at midcourt, Robertson somehow finds Jones. Broken floor, Ladarius Brewer steal. Darts the pass to no one. Outpaced David Sloan by about 15 feet.
You want to play fast, and get the wide ball turnover, and you want to make something happen. An empty possession, numbers just not quite there.
6 Mercer turnovers have turned into 4 ETSU points. 5 Buccaneer turnovers have turned into 5 Bear points. No distinct advantage there. ETSU, when they're successful at home, 6 home wins, outscoring opponents in points off turnovers 103-55. In their 2 losses, 49-11, they're being outscored. Well-built Glisson, bounce pass down low. Walker never quite got to him as ETSU reached a hand in. With 10 on the shot clock, Bears will keep the ball.
The HO action off the horn set. Bucks able to contain it and shake it loose. Mercer with an out under 10 on the shot clock.
On the baseline, Walker looking for options, has got to hurry, and does get it into Hasse in the nick of time.
Bucks go big on the throw-in. There's a mismatch somewhat.
Hasse on Yasser, and Yasser wanted the foul on Hasse. As it looked like he extended the off arm. Instead, Hasse is able to draw the foul. For ETSU, it's their 5th in the half, just 2 on Mercer. So this has been a pretty cleanly played game. Hunter Allen, Jason Baker, Michael Terry swallowing their whistles.
And there's the mismatch right there. 6'10" Hasse isolated in space against the 6'5" Yasser. Not so sure Yasser didn't get the better of that. I think Hasse may have gotten away with one. An international matchup there, Mike.
Robertson short-armed it. Haase has a second chance opportunity, kicks it out to Glisson. Now in the post, Haase has 30 pounds on Ty Brewer. Hung in the air and was able to drop it through.
Bucks elect not to double in the post, and Haase just able to utilize his size to impose his will and back Ty Brewer down, fade into the open space.
7-point lead, tying their largest of the night, Mercer. Jordan King, long three, dead on.
Kamar Robertson, he couldn't be in any better shape. Right there within arm's length. Forcing King to knock one down over high hands. That's just a player making a play.
That's what Oliver said. He wants King to take 10 threes per game. He thinks he's that good of a shooter. 42% on the year from deep.
ETSU's wins. He's being aggressive offensively. ETSU wins, King scoring, Ty Brewer's rebounding offensively, and David Sloan's getting assists.
Robertson had a layup, instead kicked to Johnson, but he was on the sideline. Wiped the basket away with 3 on the shot clock, and with just over 90 seconds to go in this first half, ETSU can carve further into this lead.
Don't know that Robertson realized how open he was. That hammer pass, that's a play that didn't exist prior to the three-point line. I think sometimes players tend to overpass. Robertson has one at the rim, gives it up to an open Jalen Johnson, who's going to make that shot about 40% of the time. Still, you're giving up a layup and turned it into a turnover.
They do turn it over a lot, this Mercer team. 267th in the nation in turnovers.
Both teams with fouls to give at the end of the period.
King missed that time. Yasser saves it.
Dangerous save there. Worked out well.
And they call Walker, who looked like he stayed right in front of Sloan. And there's Lisa Baker saying to a couple of Mercer Bears, you gotta keep it down or I'm gonna tee you up.
Bad foul. Jordan Jones some. Up and down non-conference slate. Tough loss at Winthrop. Good showing for 30 minutes at Arkansas.
The game where it wasn't ranked Arkansas team fits. Ty Brewer shows off the athleticism.
Like what Ty did there. Little crossover step. Little hes and go. Didn't settle for the three. So difficult to defend in space. ETSU with fouls to give prior to the bonus as well. No reason to get beaten off the bounce here.
19-second difference between shot and game clock, but the 2-for-1 chance now gone for Mercer. Back cut and a beauty. Robertson right at the rim.
Brewer, you have to have your head on a swivel. Loosened up for just a moment, and that was just enough daylight for Haase to thread the needle.
Final possession of this first half. ETSU can get within a possession.
And remember, Mercer can still foul if they need to.
Jordan King dribbling right, and they do foul Robertson. Maybe a bit over-aggressive, but as you said, Bruce, they've got still 2 more fouls to give, and so now ETSU has to get into their offense quickly.
Yeah, not a bad foul at all. You're in scramble mode a little bit. Now you can get back and contain.
2.9 seconds. They'll inbound 35 feet from the basket with Mohab Yasser on the sideline. It's to Ty Brewer. Turns, fades away, falling out of bounds. 5 to a Division I opponent all season, but again, beat UNCG 58-49 Saturday, then beat the Citadel 71-64. And tonight, it does seem like, truly, they do want to slow down the pace, go down low, and keep this game to about 60, 65 points for the winner as they have the ball out of the halftime break, up 4.
And again, 4 out with an ISO on the block with Glisson.
Glisson against Seymour. Glisson ran over Seymour, and it's a charge. First down, Glisson.
Good job, Seymour, moving his feet, getting into position. Taking the contact in the chest. Easy call for the official. Anytime that contact is in the middle of the torso, offensive player responsible for the contact.
They have certainly identified ETSU's bigs. Charlie Weber, Jaden Seymour, Ty Brewer is right around 190, 200 pounds. Charlie Weber up around 215, but a lot more slight than their bigs. Beautiful pass, rifled inside from David Sloan, right into the hands of Ty Brewer, who puts the finishing touches on that chance.
As as good a pass it was an even better catch by Brewer. That's a tough catch for a big guy. Bullet pass coming through there in traffic. Great vision and hands by Brewer, not only to secure it, but to finish it at the rim.
This is pick and pop for Haase, who hits.
Too easy. I know if you're tied, you have to slough off a little bit ball side. You have to get back out there and arrive within arm's length at the catch. That's just too much space for Haase. Desmond Oliver doesn't like what he sees. And that's Charlie Weber at the scorer's table.
Off-ball movement for Jordan King. Looked at the rim, kicked it over to Ladarius Brewer. Brewer over the top of 2 defenders, misses too strong. Brewer has it back, gets it to his brother. Pull up in the mid-range. Something that Ty Brewer's like this year, but can't convert.
He's been very good since conference play began and attacking the basket and scoring from the mid-range. Elevates on that jump shot, but can't get it to go down.
Oh, Glisson lost David Sloan. Twirled right away from him and put it up with 2 hands.
Just enough of a seal and a great pass from Robertson. Finish at the rim, and Mercer continuing to play inside out and establish Glisson on that low block. He just has too much size.
And strength, it seems. Ladarius Brewer stepped right away from the help defense of Felipe Haase. Ladarius Brewer has 7.
It's so difficult for opponents to match up with Ladarius Brewer. If you go big on him, he draws you to the perimeter and can bounce around you and hit the mid-range jump shot. You defend him with a guard, post.
Charlie Weber's going to replace Ty Brewer. When you have 20, 30, 40 pounds, Bruce, as we're talking about, as Glisson's going to have about 15 or 20 on Weber, I think it's just a smart call, good game plan by Greg Gary. As 5-second calls. Listen to John Walker Jr. He's flirted with that a couple of times today. Now is called as the 9th turnover comes. But a really good game plan, especially for Felipe Haase, 240 pounds. Shannon Grant, 280.
Yeah, and those guys have offensive skills as well. Glisson's just so unselfish. He tends to get his off of screening action and offensive rebounds and in transition, but hey, he could be a #1 guy as well. And we're finding that out.
Certainly finesse, as they've showed down low. Ladarius Brewer is cut off, feeds it over to Charlie Weber. Is it a foul or is it a jump ball? Coming over, Jason Baker says it's Jalen Johnson for wrapping up Charlie Weber. Call it on the floor, so it won't be shots. Baseline out of bounds coming for the Bucks.
That might be a break because one official getting ready to call a held ball.
The inbounder Ladarius Brewer just dropped it and then knocked it away from Jalen Johnson, but it'll be Mercer possession.
Timing wasn't quite there. Charlie just a split second late on that. It broke open a moment earlier. Watch out for the flat screen.
Glisson over to Haase. 4 for 6 from the floor, 11 points, a game high for Haase. 3 of those makes from long range. Glisson spins away from Weber and is fouled. You wouldn't think as big as he is that Glisson may have a quickness advantage on someone like Charlie Weber, but he's able to work right around to beat him to the other side of the rim and force the contact.
It was a really quick pivot to the right shoulder. The baseline, he's more of a left shoulder right hand guy. Goes opposite side this time. Now, how long can ETSU go without not doubling? Without doubling in the block? You see the spin to the right shoulder, uses his body to screen for himself. Weber reaching over and Glisson through contact to the line.
And this is one of the best parts of his game. 87% from the stripe, 2nd in the SoCon, 50th in the country. One of the reasons he's amassed 11 points per game, James Glisson. He's right at that now, 5 of 8 from the floor.
Decision time for Desmond Oliver. If you double, at some point you're going to leave Haase or Jalen Johnson, 2 outstanding shooters, open. You're going to have to pick your poison.
Ty Brewer well short, and Kamar Robertson, who again has been in the right spot many times, rebounding, his 5th.
Again, Ty Brewer settling for the long jump shot.
Jalen Johnson wanted a foul, and an air ball instead with no foul called. David Sloan, lefty layup, no good, but the foul. Put back for Ty Brewer.
That's where Ty Brewer's at his best.
And now he's got the
downhill.
steal. The trailer, Jordan King, in front of his own bench, almost banked it in from the corner, and the rebound for Glisson.
Wasted high-energy effort by Ty Brewer. Only with the tap-in transition. Run through steal in the open floor. Bucks come up in.
This chance for second chance points, of which ETSU has 7 of the 9 in the game. Haase against the point guard Sloan, and ETSU isn't helping. Oh goodness, Haase, he couldn't have found an easier turnaround, but missed it. And Charlie Weber with the rebound.
Why does Haase fade away when he's able to back Sloan down?
Here come the Bears again after the Sloan miss. Robertson behind the screen of Haase, wildly off target into the hands of Weber.
He's a little fatigued now. We're 40 seconds beyond the 16-minute meeting.
Is that a jump ball?
Team separates 5 teams from seed number 4 through seed number 8.
You thought it'd be a wide open league. It's proving to be that, at least a third of the way through the conference season. Ty Brewer, difficult shot, rebound, Glisson, who also had the defense.
Great job in space by Glisson, moving his feet, just containing, staying in front, making Ty Brewer shoot over his length.
Mercer tried to break a stretch of 3 minutes with no field goals. Robertson isoing on Weber, drops it down low after drawing the second defender, and Glisson has the deuce.
Just pounding it inside. Mercer with multiple options. They also had Haase isolated in space against the smaller Jordan King off the pick and pop action.
Quick pass over to Jordan King from Ladarius Brewer. King spins, fall away, missed it long, and he'll go to the free throw line as he was knocked to the floor. Robertson, the guilty party, his second.
That's where Jordan King is so good, able to bounce himself into open space. Love his high eye level, how he sees the floor, can find open real estate, get there off the bounce. Got it off quickly, and he had to because Glisson was coming from the blind side.
Had his first collegiate dunk last time he was in this building against Western Carolina, did Jordan King. Makes the first free throw. Bucks with 7 dunks versus the Catamounts, a team high this season, and at least 5 in each of their last 3. That's 3 of the 5 games this season with their most dunks in their last 3, but we haven't seen too many high-flying fireworks here today. Mercer grounding this ETSU attack.
And should King make toss number 2, does ETSU extend pressure to try to get this tempo increased a little bit?
Sure looks like it. Into Haase, and that's the tough part with Haase, is he's such a good handler of the ball, passer of the ball. He got that break started and into the front court without a problem, the Bears.
And such a good job flashing into the middle, and has those soft hands and that size where he can bail out his guards.
In the corner, big block. Jordan King rejects Sean Walker Jr. from the corner.
Walker telling his teammates, yeah, I know, show a little leather and take him off the bounce. King not a shot blocker. One pump fake and you have numbers at the rim.
Call that his first block this season, Jordan King. Down low, Haase. Glassler got lost, and Haase right at the rack has 2 more.
6'10", 240, how do you lose him?
13 on the game, tied for a game high with Glisson. King against Haase. Left it light. Seymour sheds a defender, has the loose ball, and a foul on the putback attempt by Seymour. They'll say it's Robertson again. That's his 3rd, and before the shot. So at the 5th foul on Mercer will be a baseline out of bounds for the Bucks with Jordan Jones checking back in for Robertson.
I know the game plan is to get King multiple shots, but you have Felipe Haase isolated in space. I thought that was an opportunity to take him off the bounce.
Nice inbounds defense by Jordan Jones. But Ladarius Brewer maneuvers his way around 2 defenders. Almost a backcourt steal from Ohab Yasser.
Again, that's what Ladarius Brewer does. Such tremendous ability to hang in the air and take and make tough shots.
Glisson has gotten pretty much all of his points in the paint. Misses a mid-range jump shot, and ETSU can get within 2 or 1 here. Miscommunication. Yasser zigged while Sloan's pass was a zag. Here comes Jones with pace. Wide open Jones. No. Yasser at the free throw line has the board.
Probably not the shot Greg Gary wanted in that sequence.
King with plenty of room on the mark. He's trying to get some of the feet back under him that they had in that first half. They've controlled a lot of this game, but have never led by more than 7.
Little matchup zone pressure. Ty Brewer utilizes some chaser. Bucks drop back half court man-to-man.
Walker Jr. Johnson, Jones, Walker Jr. as it rotates around the perimeter. 5 in the shot clock. Walker has to try a step back 3. Hard off the heel. King had to go off his face, I believe, and out of bounds. Mercer will keep it.
Really good job defensively by ATSU, and that's just knowing the scouting report. I talked to assistant Mark Bielkowski before the game. One of Mercer's favorite actions, utilizing Jalen Johnson as a baseline runner off that too-high action. Bucks right there. Same play.
Johnson contested 3 and a foul called on Mohab Yasser. 45% from downtown is Johnson. You certainly don't want to foul any jump shooter. But Johnson's going to go to the line for 3, a very efficient one.
Especially if you fought through the screens and you've gotten out there and you've contested the shot. Johnson just missed from that spot.
There you see in the background Jalen Johnson. He's our First Horizon player bio today. As we mentioned, once almost a Buck, started his career at Tennessee. Marginal impact, then briefly committed to TSU when Steve Forbes was still in Johnson City. But when Forbes left that same offseason to go to Wake Forest, he went with him. Marginal impact there as well. Nothing marginal, Bruce, about his play here for Mercer. Dropped a career high 36 days ago versus VMI. And if you're wondering where the scoring of Ross Cummings and Leon Ayers III and now Neftali Alvarez would come from, who would fill those shoes, that's been the man.
Slender 6'6" southpaw coming in, averaging 15 and 5, 47% from 3. In that VMI game, Mike, 8 out of 8 beyond the arc.
He can shoot it with the best of them. 86% at the line this year, and this Mercer team, 36th in the nation in free throw percentage, 76%. And Johnson, the rare 3 for 3. Even some of the best free throw shooters have trouble with that. Back to a 4-point lead. ETSU has Ladarius Brewer, Ty Brewer, David Sloan, who's doing the ball handling, Charlie Weber, and Mohab Yasser. Ladarius Brewer steps back for the 3. Not close. Goes right back to Brewer as Yasser punched it out. Charlie Weber missed short on a 3. Brewer was able to bat it out toward
score from the mid-range. Very comfortable. He'll bounce you a couple of times as a defender. He gets you on your heels and into that right to left step back, and boom, from 18 feet in your eye.
Out of the timeout, Mercer can extend to 6 or 7. Johnson running a lot to get the ball 20 feet from the rim. Then an errant pass that went off of David Sloan last. Mercer will keep the ball with 11 on the shot clock. This is a series in which ETSU has won 12 of the last 14, but Bruce, we talked about it pregame, the last 2 in Freedom Hall have gone the way of Mercer. Just 2 of the 18 losses ETSU has in the last 6.5 years in this building.
And Greg Gary, the rare undefeated record as an opposing coach in Freedom Hall.
Trying to keep that today. Glisson, offhand with the miss to the left side of the rim. Charlie Weber clears the boards.
Out of his comfort zone, Weber able to push him out on the floor just a step, and that was enough.
Ty Brewer, right in front of head coach Desmond Oliver, who wants rotation. With 8 on the shot clock, not a lot going this possession for ETSU. David Sloan will cross over, take the 3, on the mark. Sloan has his first triple. ETSU earlier today extended their streak of consecutive games with a made 3 to 1,080. That's 4th longest in the country. Arkansas was on that list ahead of them. They went 0 for 11 last night and dropped from the ranks.
Sloan loves curling off a ball screen, bounces to his left. Sometimes right-handed shooters like to go in that direction. They don't have to turn their torso to line up.
Grant against Weber. From behind, David Sloan bothered the shot. That's out of bounds, off of Glisson last. Nice help defense by David Sloan because Charlie Weber is giving away about 70 pounds.
Great recognition by the veteran David Sloan. Selling out, digging down, gets a piece of it, just enough. Great stop for the Bucks.
Give Weber credit too because it looked like he also got a hand on the ball. And ETSU can take their first lead since the 9:05 mark of the first half. Nearly 20 minutes of game action.
As we talked about it during the break, grinding style of play favoring Mercer. ETSU still looking for a way to get this at a faster pace.
Sloan with the teardrop. Excellent drive inside. It looked like a lot of Sloan and maybe not getting a lot of anywhere on those first few dribbles, but then he was able to get inside and the building comes alive as the Bucks have the lead.
And that's what happens when you play downhill with a high eye level. Sloan sees some open real estate, bounces into it and finishes in the paint.
Johnson. Hounding defense by ETSU. It's inside for Grant, who can't answer. Ladarius Brewer rips down the rip.
Much better job pressuring the passers on the perimeter. High hands distorting the field of vision of the passer.
Sloan starting to feel it. He's hot. He looks at the crowd and they erupt for the Kansas State transfer.
Nothing you can do about that. Can't guard him any better than Jalen Johnson did. But that right to left step back into rhythm. David Sloan feeling it, Bucks +4.
8-0 run for ETSU the last 2 minutes. And knocked to the floor by Mohab Yasser. As the Bear attacking, it's Robertson picking himself up off the floor. Here you see Sloan, when he gets into a groove, not sure there's many that would like to see them across from him.
Well, you have to push back somewhat because he has those penetration skills. Got Johnson leaning back just a little bit, and that created enough daylight for Sloan to see the rim and knock it down.
Mar Robertson is at the free throw line, 76%, and he hits the first. Really showed his ability last year. Had a 28-point barrage at Chattanooga, went 12 for 12 from the floor. But how about only 48 other points that year? This season he's been much more consistent, about 9 points per game, and especially recently, very good. Double figures, 5 of the last 8 games that the point guard Alvarez, who we've talked about all night, has missed, and he's got the Bears back within 2.
Yeah, Robertson comes in averaging 9 and 4, but again, that comfort level increasing with every game as he plays more with the ball in his hands.
And then he just shouldered David Sloan right in the face, and for Mercer, that's foul number 6. So it'll be free throws the rest of the way, a 1-and-1 on the next foul committed by Mercer.
And that's 4 on Robertson.
And he's gonna have to check out, and Greg Gary won't like that. Just hands on hips as Robertson walks by. 40 feet from the basket, no imminent pressure on. Inbounds for the Buccaneers, who've made 5 of their last 7 from the floor, and each of their last 3. Mercer nearly 6 minutes without a field goal. Sloan isoing again. Fades from 15. That one's too strong, and Grant in the air for the rebound. Jones had Grant on a backdoor for a moment. Walker has some space, cut off by Sloan on the baseline. Johnson, yes, leads back to Mercer.
Tough shot by a very good player, Jalen Johnson. Over the outstretched arm, Ty Brewer in space.
3 of 5 from deep today. Same with Felipe Haase. The rest of the team, though, 0 of 10 from outside.
See ETSU lifting their offense, trying to draw Grant to the perimeter.
Poor pass by Weber, he telegraphed. 40 of the 50 Mercer scored.
And doing it in contrasting styles. Mercer pounding it inside. ETSU scoring in transition, off turnovers, and at a quicker tempo.
2 on the shot clock. Ladarius Brewer fumbles with it and can't get it off. ETSU 8th turnover on the day, and Mercer with a 1-point lead. They'll have the ball back in their possession.
High-low action out of the timeout. Unable to connect on the bounce pass from Weber to Ladarius Brewer.
Hasse, high post. Johnson, step back three, rims out. Ty Brewer the rebound.
Good block out, the white jerseys on the defensive glass.
Sloan, left side, right hand. TSU back in front.
Sloan puts Walker in jail, turns the corner, just rides him on his hip all the way to the rim. Straight line drive, no help side. Great read and finish by Sloan.
Lead change number 7 on the day, and it feels like this one's going to be tight for the duration as Ladarius Brewer on a reach-in commits his first foul of the day. Foul number 4 on ETSU the second half. Hasse going to inbound. Grant's out there as well. Johnson, Walker, along with, I believe that's Jones, and it is. TSU pressures with Ty Brewer and slapping the ball away as David Sloan with 20 on the shot clock still. Another inbound's coming. Bucks defending with Ty Brewer, Ladarius Brewer, Charlie Weber, David Sloan, and Jordan King. Have not seen a ton of Jaden Seymour in the second half. A scoreless 15 minutes, while Cordell Charles played 4 minutes in the first half, also scoreless, and Mohab Yasser, 19 scoreless minutes. Those, the other 3 that the Bucks have used today, along with the 5 that are out there. Hasse. Wilson backed out of the paint and a kicked ball on Ty Brewer, and this is never-ending possession here for the Mercer Bears as they try and regain the lead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. ETSU switching those off-the-ball screens. Hasse isolated against Jordan King at the top of the key. Long possession defensively for ETSU. That's quite a bit of time to stay in a guarding stance. Let's see how this impacts the lower body.
Their last 8 field goal attempts, just 1 made at Jalen Johnson 3. Hasse against the much smaller Jordan King. Ty Brewer hung for help for a moment, rolling across the paint. Hasse flips it up and in.
It's a great read, a great read. Ty Brewer stunning, but ultimately had to leave his man. Hasse takes it one-on-one into the rolling hook shot.
Change number 8 now. And Sloan, the ball in his hands a lot in the second half. King, who's in double figures. Drives, does King, teardrop, won't go. And the rebound for Hasse.
Had to like the matchup. King isolated against the true freshman Jones, but can't finish.
Glisson ahead of the pack, a great look from Sean Walker Jr. Mercer by 3.
Rewarding the big guy for running the floor. How does he run from inline to inline and outrun 3 Buck guards?
Now the points coming quickly for the Bears. Sloan knocked away momentarily. 10 in the shot clock. Jordan King on the E of ETSU. He's been known to shoot it from there.
Officials really letting them play on the low block. Hasse just pushed Charlie Weber off the block.
Sloan rips the cords from outside, and we're tied at 54.
Big shot.
David Sloan's doing everything for ETSU. He's got 23 on the verge of a career high. Jones against Weber, and 1! Weber's second. And what a impressive take by Jones to finish over the 6'9" Weber.
It was. Well, King fought over the screen, came over the top, but Jones got the head and shoulders around. Put King in jail and able to finish.
This is relatively uncharted territory for Jones. Played a career-high 31 minutes last game with Kamar Robertson missing the game with a sprain. He couldn't go. Matched his career total with 10 points. His double-digit game as a collegiate. He's playing a lot of minutes here today as well. 16th minute has his first basket, first free throw, 3 points. Greg Gary said he hopes that he can be a sustainable player. Well, a big impact there, huge contribution.
Well, and able to buy a little time until Kamar Robertson can get back in. Robertson on the bench with those 4 personal fouls.
That didn't look good out of Sloan's hand, a miss, a rare one for him today as he's now 10 of 17 from the floor. Mercer's going to slow it down. Beautiful design that got Glisson free down low, but the help from ETSU came right on time. Ty Brewer on the other end finishes in transition.
Mercer tried to go high-low out of the horn set, well defended. Then Ty Brewer out in transition with the finish. Thought it might have been an and one.
Wide open, Walker Jr. and Ty Brewer over the top of two Bears for the board. Here comes Ladarius Brewer, the ultra athlete in the middle of the floor, Euro step and draws a foul. Johnson, they reviewed it and they assessed it to Sean Walker Jr. Big second to tie. Yes. 57 apiece. And this stretch run's going to be fun. Double by ETSU as pressure is on. Walker finds Haase, who is reluctant to dribble.
It's a diamond press Ty Brewer matches up with, but doesn't guard the throw in, but traps after the inbounds.
And just getting it outside. Jones will bring it across the 47-foot mark at half court. Haase against King, center versus guard. Darts a pass, cross court. Jones hits a big three.
Haase with that size and visions, able to look the defense over. Skip pass to Jordan Jones is really giving Greg Gary some nice minutes down the stretch.
Ladarius Brewer to answer, knocks it down. Shot making down the stretch. 3 minutes to go. ETSU wanted to travel on Walker Jr. No call.
That was a valid point.
Jones turns the corner. Excellent defensive play by Ty Brewer right when it looked like the Bucks were beat.
Able to reach around and knock that loose. Now Mercer with an out under 14 on the shot clock. I like to run Johnson off a series of baseline staggered screens in this situation.
14 on the shot clock. Jones the inbounder. Bounce pass into Haase. Out for Glisson, who doesn't want to take the three. Middle of the paint, Haase, baby hook, rims off.
Bucks just switched all the screening action. Mercer unable to get separation. Big stop by the Bucks.
Sloan, Ladarius Brewer for the lead. Ladarius Brewer catching fire late.
He was out there in high hands, but didn't get into Brewer's space. Left just enough daylight.
Ty Brewer picks him up. 106. Mercer needs to stop the bleeding. We'll hope that timeout did. Presses back on. Walker. Bounce pass over to Johnson, who leads Haase into open space. Haase a rare dribble today. Haase against Ladarius Brewer and a foul on Ladarius Brewer, much to the chagrin of these ETSU fans. Second on Brewer. Haase will head to the strike.
And a dangerous play off that entry pass. Walker bounces to the corner and picks up his dribble and turns a double team into essentially a quadruple team right there at the intersection of the corner and the inline. Mercer breaks the press and Haase unable to finish through mild contact. Don't know about that one under 2 minutes. These officials have let a lot go tonight. I've seen more contact than that.
84% from the line. Haase makes the first South Carolina transfer, who put forth a couple of strong years for the Gamecocks before transferring to Mercer following the 2018-19 year. Sat out 2019-20, but it's been a great get for Greg Gary and company. Smooth on those two free throws. It's back to a one-possession game. Now Mercer will try and force the Bucks into a mistake in the backcourt. Seymour nearly let that one out of his grasp.
Hey, but a good catch by Seymour. Used two hands to corral that. That would have been disastrous. Unforced error in the open floor.
Sloan quickly inside. Ty Brewer in the corner. Bucks will milk some more clock. 10 on the shot clock, 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Jordan King steps back, got it. King's got 12, big make to put the Bucks back up 5.
Well, that's his shot. Sean Walker switch, took Jordan King. King doesn't panic in a dwindling shot clock. So comfortable with that right to left step back in the mid-range.
Robertson with Johnson, Walker, Haase, and Glisson. Bears have to hurry. Just over 1 minute remaining. Here's Johnson. Glisson versus Seymour, and Glisson just lost it. 13th turnover on the Bears, that perhaps their biggest.
He's able to get to the rim on that counter move earlier to the right shoulder in the baseline, but this time Jaden Seymour pushes back as you see Jordan King with the right to left step back from the left elbow.
Now where's the line between trying to extend this game or playing it out for Mercer? Their press does nothing to stop ETSU. Seymour! Monster slam brings the house down!
It's a good play, just getting yourself open. But how about the heads-up play and finish by Seymour?
And now Mercer is in dire straits. That's off of ETSU last, but with 48 seconds remaining, Jaden Seymour absolutely brought the roof off Freedom Hall.
Just flashing to the middle, getting himself open. It's like the seas parted.
And after offensive struggles for a lot of the game for ETSU, they've made 6 of their last 6 field goals, highlighted by an 8-0 run that took the Bucks from down 3 to up 5, and they've only extended that lead.
If you're Mercer, plenty of time. You don't have to have a 3, but you need something quick. You need something aggressive. You need to play inside out.
Glisson from downtown. Rebound knocked away from Haase. And will Mercer play this one out? They will try and extend at least for now. It's a 7-point ETSU lead, and they seem to have put this one out of reach. All of a sudden, it looked like this was going to be tight right to the finish, and then the Bucks turned up the heat.
And who knocked it away from Haase? It's Jaden Seymour out there flying around making plays. Probably not going to show up in the box score. You're not going to get credit for that defensive rebound. Quick feet and active hands. Staying with it, keeping the ball alive until the Bucks can secure.
Ladarius Brewer got the first. How about Seymour's first points of the day? Had a relatively ineffective 18 or so minutes, didn't play a lot in the second half. Ladarius Brewer goes 2 for 2, and then Seymour, like Superman, flew in and essentially sealed this game, or so it would appear, as Glisson lays it in on the right side of the hoop.
Well, token pressure, you don't want to foul, but you don't want to play that soft either.
And Jordan King is fouled in the backcourt. Robertson and Walker converged. Walker whistled. That's his 3rd. Robertson, that would have been it for him. He stays on 4.
And no great choice for Mercer to foul. L.A. Brewer, the lowest free throw percentage on the floor for the Bucks, and he's at 68%.
Yeah, Jordan King is 16 for 20 on the season, coming into today, 80%. This is the first, and so he won't get the second. Mercer still has hope. Haase is thrown right in his face. Tough, fading left. Haase missed 2 heavy. Ty Brewer up top for the rebound, and that should just about do it. 19.2 to go. Ty Brewer will walk to the other end and take the free throws, and it looks as if the Buccaneers, for the first time in nearly a month, are going to win back-to-back games. It was loss win, loss win, loss win, loss win coming into today after that 3-point win against Sanford. And here at home, ETSU defending their home court, especially in these last 2 or 3 minutes, which has seen them open up now an 8-point lead.
Part of the progression of this ball club, getting leadership when things are going well, just like they had leadership under adversity, coming back from that demoralizing defeat at Chattanooga. team continues to come back. Now can they sustain play at a higher level? Can they handle success?
Johnson can't get the shooter's roll, and inside a rebound was contested by Glisson. He's fouled on the loose ball. It's Jaden Seymour, and so Glisson will head to the line. And remaining down is Kamar Robertson. He'll be helped up by his teammates. These free throws will be elementary, as ETSU is going to improve to 84-18 at home over the last 6+ years. And for Greg Gary, that perfect record here in Freedom Hall that we've talked about all day long, Bruce, is going to go by the wayside.
Still a winning record in Freedom Hall for Greg Gary. Disappointed with this loss. His team played so well. I'm wondering, maybe there wasn't quite as much gas in the tank as you would think down the stretch. Frontline guys played a lot of minutes, and remember, game 4 in 7 days for the Mercer Bears.
And free Chick-fil-A for Freedom Hall as Glisson misses both. One of the best promotions in the country will send these fans